Allah, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the bonds of men that gave the life for the truth, the dead, and Yahushai shall rise first. Pioneers of the truth, the ones the elders of great Musa that told me the truth. And I see you brothers out there teaching to the house of David, the church of the saints, the men, women, and children that consist of the elect. Basically, we're gonna do through the Spirit of the Lord, be the Lord's will. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go into like different Marvel characters. You know what I mean? We're gonna go into like different Marvel characters to be the Spirit of the Lord. I'm gonna start off with Spawn. You know, we did Ghost Rider because Ghost Rider basically Cage made a deal with Mephisto, which was Satan. You know what I mean? And they get that from the scriptures because basically a lot of these comic books, when you go into it, when it's about Hellspawn, the Ghost Rider, and all that, they always make deals with spiritual demons saying they're going back and forth with spiritual demons saying, but they get that with the scriptures. They get that in the scriptures, but it's really Yahweh Shem Yahushai telling Satan what to do. You know, but with Al Simmons, with this one, right? Al Simmons, basically he was like a bodyguard for the United States government. He was like the Secret Service. And he protected the president from getting shot at one time. Whatever the case may be. So basically he started finding out the bullshit that was going on with the system and the government. He started finding out that it was wicked. So he woke up to the truth. And what they did was they assassinated him. Or whatever the case may be. So when they assassinated him, right, he basically asked for revenge. Supposedly he got thrown into hell or whatever the case may be, which we know there's no so-called place called hell. Hell is hell in heaven is conditions on earth. This is hell for us, for the Israelites. But basically, when he went to the spirit world, right, he cried unto the Father for revenge. So spiritual demon Satan comes up to him, Malboja, which is Ghost Rider comic books. It's Mephisto. But he basically makes a deal with him. What Malboja does, he sends him back on the earth 5 years later after his death. And basically like erases his memory. And that's us in the reincarnation. Like we forgot about our past lives. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures say, remember ye this and show yourselves men. We forgot our nationality through slavery, through all this hell that our people went through, hundreds of years captivity. Now we're coming back to who we are, right? But basically, he makes the deal and he comes back. He finds out that his wife is married or whatever the case may be. But then he has like supernatural powers. He's sort of similar to like Ghost Rider. And it's heavy because he has a skull. It's like Big Punisher. You know what I'm saying? He has like supernatural powers, man, super strength. You know? He's basically like a Ghost Rider character. Then you have this Violator, this killer clown. It's heavy because the spirit of killer clowns is out now, called the Violator. And basically, what happens was he gets sent from the spirit world, right? And he's like he's basically like he's supposed to be like his mentor or whatever. And Al Simmons, he bucks up against the Violator, the killer clown or whatever. So he starts fighting against Satan or whatever. And starts fighting on the good side. But it's heavy because he was actually fighting and killing witches, warlocks, drug dealers. You see? So then he broke the deal that he made with Satan and he started fighting against him. You know, but the scriptures say the deceiver and the deceiver are his, man. We brought that out in Job. You know, but we're gonna bring that out in the scriptures again. How basically these comics, and as a matter of fact, when this comic came out, it broke records, man. To this day, it's like the best-selling comic. You know, like 2 million comic books are sold. But guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna like just touch on it a little bit, give a little history and try to filter it with the scriptures. We're gonna try to filter it with the scriptures. Because basically what they do is the basis of the scriptures, when you look at Hellboy, even Hellboy, you had the sorcerers that summoned up, and then Hellboy reemerges or whatever. The story with Ghost Rider, making back and forth with spiritual demon Satan. And prior, one of the Ghost Riders was an ex-slave that fought in the Civil War. Like, all that goes back to the scriptures, man. It's just that what they do is they get the basis from the Bible and they like spiritually flip it. Like they flip it and people read it and they're like, oh man, this story's dope, But they're really the text and the basis of it is really the scriptures, man. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart. For this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword of destruction. So Al Simmons, he woke up to the United States government being wicked and evil. And that's us, man. That's us. And they turned on him and they threw him. They killed him. They set him up. They put him to death. And he went to hell. And that's us, man. These devils know that we got the truth, man. And what they want to do real soon is they want to throw us in prison. They want to lock us up. They're going to lock us the fuck up. But that's okay, though, because that's all prophecy anyway. That's prophesied to happen, you know. Revelations 2:10. 2 and 9. I know that works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right? So we don't have to worry about shit, man. All we gotta do is keep pushing this truth. The hell with you devils, man. But we're gonna get that supernatural power. Matter of fact, they said Spawn had demon-like power. They called him a demon or whatever the case may be. They had demon-like power or whatever, but that's what they told the Lord. He casting out demons out of Beelzebub. We're gonna bring that out. This supernatural power is real, man, you know? But it's only to those that believe. You know, there's only to those that believe. Because heaven and hell is conditions on earth. Heaven and hell is conditions on earth. Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation? That's you Rothschild's elites, Lucifer, Illuminati, light bearer. You can see he had the light in their hand. So you Illuminati, you Rothschilds, you have the light in your hand. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, because you think you God. You Rothschilds, and you think you God. You think you the Most High. Yet, listen to this. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? So this is Lucifer falling from his heavenly state and going into hell. And we're going to narrowly look at him and saying, is this the man? M-A-N is the actual man. That's you Illuminati, you Rothschilds, elites Esau. You're going to fall from the top of the pyramid. You're going to go from your heavenly state, which is ruling the planet Earth, being on top to nothing but rags, and you could be under the ground, which is hell. We're going to put you in hell. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? That's you devils, man. Imprisoning Israelites, Black, Latino, Native Americans. That's all you do. Imprison our people, man. You know? But you're going to be in prison. The scriptures also say after many days you're going to visit you. So you're going to be in hell. And Spawn actually he turned around and fought against Morboja, Satan. He turned around and fought against Satan. That's us. We're fighting against you devils spiritually, cutting you with this truth, man. And you want to throw us in prison, you want to put us away, you want to put us in hell, but we're going to put you in hell, which is 1,000 years of slavery, man. Thus save the Lord. When Yahweh Shai comes back with the chains around his neck. We'll put chains around your neck, just like Ghost Rider, he had the chains. And you devils, you going in chains, man. That Spawn had the chains, he had the skulls. It's like David ripping Goliath's head off and taking him with him to the tent. The chains is going to represent you going in slavery, man. You know? Let me bring out Job again, because we brought that out earlier. But they'll say, oh, you see? In the comic book world, there's always like Mephisto with Ghost Rider. Oh, you see he's making deals with spiritual demon Satan. He's going back and forth with Satan. No, first of all, the Most High already says what is going to go down. He already knows who's going to win or who's going to lose. Deceive and deceiver are his. Right? So he tells Satan what to do. Satan don't do what he wants. Job 1:1-6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. So Satan is one of the sons of God. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence thou comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. You see? So he don't do what he wants. He answers to the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and eschew of evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. This is Satan telling the Most High, Yahweh. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So he said, basically, give him hell, but just don't kill him. And we're gonna see. So the comic book world will have Ghost Rider, Spawn, make deals with Satan. No. Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai tells Satan what to do. And then Satan goes on the earth and does his work on the left-hand side. Job 2nd chapter. And again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. So he's one of the sons of God, Satan. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thy hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with swords boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. See, Satan don't do what he wants. He takes orders from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He tells him what to do on earth, man. He don't just do what he wants. He don't turn around and give the Lord attitude. The Most High is the Great Spirit. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Yahweh is the Great Spirit. He created Satan. How is Satan going to turn around and buck up against him? That's why he's called the Most High. And he took him a potsherd of scraped himself with saved it over with and he sat down among the ashes. Oh, that's crazy, man. To get them boils like that, scraping yourself like that. The scripture say, Al-Ashadi, a terrible demon-like power, right? We're going to bring this out. Matthews 12. 12. You know what? We saw that. Matthews 12. Hold on 1 second. The scripture say, Al-Ashai, a terrible demon-like power. And he even talked shit about Yahweh Shai when he was on earth, healing the people. You know, Matthews 12 and 27. I'm going to start at 26. And if Satan cast out, I'm going to start at 25. And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts, and he said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. You know what? I'm going to start at 23. And all the people were amazed and said, Is this not the son of David? And when the Pharisees heard it, they said, This fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. Lord of the Flies, basically, talking shit to the Lord. And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And if by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of God, Yahweh, then the kingdom of Yahweh is come unto you. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his good, except his first blind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house? He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. You see that? You have people talking shit to the Lord, man. You know? Calling him a demon and all that. Casting out Lord of Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies, man. You know, that goes back to the god of the Philistines. You know, Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies. Hey, the Most High is not playing, man. Especially you have to even the Omega spawn. You know, where I get that from the scriptures. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Revelations 1 and 8. I am Alpha. This is in red letters. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. The Almighty, the All-Powerful, the Apocalypse. Omega spawn right here. They get that all from the scriptures, man. Ya'ala Shadia, terrible demon-like power. You know what? Yeah, you gonna know the Most High. All these comic books and Stan Lee and all that shit, they know the truth. They know the truth, man. They know the truth. They know what's coming. The Lord's a destroyer. With Silver Surfer, he was sent by the destroyer, Galacticus, that used to eat planets. Doesn't the scripture say, and then my father's house there are many mansions and his earth is his footstool? And Galactus ate planets, and he really showed up in comics. Psalms 47:2. For the Lord, the Most